Ah, Virtue Ethics Explained. Now this delves into the very heart of what it means to live well, to not just exist, but to truly flourish. It's a path, a philosophy that emphasizes the kind of person we ought to be, rather than simply focusing on rules or consequences. It's about cultivating those inner qualities, those virtues that lead to a life rich in meaning, purpose, and genuine fulfillment. Think of a plant striving towards the sunlight. It doesn't just follow a set of instructions. It possesses an inherent drive to grow, to blossom, to reach its full potential. Virtue ethics, in many ways, guides us in that same striving, towards becoming the best version of ourselves, towards living a life of eudaimonia, that deep sense of flourishing and well-being. Now, what are these virtues we speak of? They are not mere abstract ideals. They are practical habits, ingrained dispositions that guide our actions and shape our character. They are the qualities that, when consistently practiced, lead us towards excellence in living. Think of courage, not just the absence of fear, but the strength to act rightly in the face of fear. Think of justice, not just following laws, but the commitment to fairness and equity in our dealings with others. Think of temperance, not just abstinence, but the wisdom to find balance and moderation in all things. These virtues, and many others, are not innate. They are cultivated through practice and habit. Just as a muscle grows stronger with repeated use, our virtuous tendencies are reinforced through consistent action. We learn to be virtuous by doing virtuous things, by consciously choosing to act in accordance with what is good and honorable. Consider the analogy of learning a craft. You don't become a master carpenter simply by reading a book. You learn by doing, by practicing, by making mistakes and learning from them. Similarly, we cultivate virtue by actively engaging in virtuous behavior, by striving to embody these qualities in our daily lives. I've observed individuals who chased after fleeting pleasures, who focused solely on external achievements, only to find themselves feeling empty and unfulfilled. They may have accumulated wealth or accolades, but they lacked that deep sense of flourishing that comes from living a life of virtue. It's like having a beautifully decorated house built on a weak foundation. It may look impressive on the surface, but it lacks the structural integrity for lasting satisfaction. But then there are those individuals who prioritize the cultivation of virtue. They strive to be honest in their dealings, compassionate in their interactions, courageous in their convictions, and wise in their choices. Their lives radiate a sense of purpose and fulfillment that goes far beyond material success. They understand that true flourishing comes from within, from the consistent practice of moral excellence. So, how does virtue ethics explain this path to a flourishing life? It emphasizes several key principles. Firstly, the focus on character. Virtue ethics places the primary emphasis not on rules or outcomes, but on the development of virtuous character traits. The belief is that if we cultivate the right kind of character, right actions will naturally follow. It's about becoming a good person, and from that goodness, good deeds will flow. Secondly, the importance of practical wisdom, phronesis. Virtue ethics recognizes that applying virtues is not always straightforward. It requires practical wisdom, the ability to discern the right course of action in specific situations. This involves understanding context, considering different perspectives, and making wise judgments based on our cultivated virtues. It's not just knowing what the virtues are, but knowing how to apply them in the complexities of everyday life. Thirdly, the role of habituation. As mentioned earlier, virtues are not simply intellectual concepts. They are developed through consistent practice. By repeatedly choosing virtuous actions, we gradually internalize these qualities, making them a more natural part of our character. It's about making virtue a habit, a deeply ingrained disposition. Fourthly, the concept of human flourishing, eudaimonia. This is the ultimate goal of virtue ethics, a life well lived, a life of flourishing and fulfillment. It's not simply happiness in a fleeting sense, but a deeper, more enduring state of well-being that arises from living a life of virtue and purpose. Fifthly, the understanding that virtues often lie in a mean. Many virtues are seen as existing between two extremes. For example, courage lies between the extremes of cowardice and recklessness. Temperance lies between the extremes of indulgence and abstinence. Practical wisdom helps us to find that virtuous mean in different situations. Sixthly, the recognition of the social nature of human beings. Virtue ethics often emphasizes the importance of community and relationships in the development of virtue and the achievement of flourishing. Living in a just and supportive society can foster the cultivation of virtuous character. Think of a skilled musician. They don't just learn the notes, they practice diligently, honing their skills, developing their ear, and striving for excellence in their craft. Their dedication to their art leads to a sense of mastery and fulfillment. Similarly, the dedicated cultivation of virtue leads to a mastery of living, to a profound sense of flourishing. Virtue ethics offers a powerful framework for understanding how to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. It reminds us that true success is not just about what we achieve outwardly, but about who we become inwardly. By focusing on cultivating virtuous character, by striving for practical wisdom, and by making virtuous action a habit, we pave the way for a life of genuine flourishing, a life well lived in its truest sense. It is a path worth pursuing, a journey of lifelong growth and enrichment.